Since COVID, a TikToker named Dumpster Diving Freegan has been searching through dumpsters to find foods that are perfectly fine to eat. She's working in banking, but the goods and foods that she found in dumpsters are so much and fine that she can not only live without having a job if she wants, but also make $3,000 per month, even after donating foods to communities. This video, however, is not about promoting dumpster diving, but about the food waste that we all are responsible for. To start with, let's take a look at how much food is wasted. In the United States alone, 1/3 of all produced food, that is about 130 billion pounds, goes to landfills. It is also the same at the international level. Globally, approximately 1.4 billion tons of food waste are sent to landfills. When it goes to landfills, it emits a massive amount of methane that is 25 times more detrimental than carbon dioxide. If food waste were a country, it would be the third largest greenhouse gas emitter. China, India, and the US are top 3 food waste producers. On the other hand, numerous people around the world are suffering from hunger. More than 7,700 million people are considered food insecure. It is also the same in the US. More than 38 million people don't have stable access to food. 1 in 10 people is food insecure. If food waste is transferred to meals, it can feed about 2 billion people every year. What is worse is that when food is wasted, it's not just food that is wasted. It also generates numerous other wastes. Tons of water that is used to feed cattle, fish, and poultry is wasted. Fuels that are used to grow, transport, and cook are wasted too. Also, when we order food from delivery apps, plastic bags and disposable utensils are wasted for single use. Food waste is also an economical issue. In the US, the value of the food discarded is about $418 billion, which is the same as 2% of the country's GDP. And globally, the cost of food waste amounts to about $2.6 billion per year. Considering all these detrimental effects, we should address the issue and reduce the amount of food waste. Many organizations have recently announced their plans to reduce food waste. For example, both the UN and United States are aiming to reduce food waste in half by 2030. So we have about 8 years to reduce food waste. Chinese President Xi Jinping also launched a Clean Plate campaign in 2020 to reduce food waste and ensure food insecurity. But the question is, how are they going to achieve their goals? There are many approaches to address the issue. First, through policy making. Both New York and California now require businesses and institutions to compost and donate food scraps. But the new laws are focusing on big corporations, not on households. New York City's Curbside Brown Bin program, for example, requires people to sign up for the program if they want their buildings to join. But it is not only unknown to the public enough, but also cumbersome for people to do it. Besides, there are many loopholes in the system. Food grinders that we can just throw away food through the sink can lead to sewage pollution, but it is not regulated at all. Differing food labels such as sell by, use by, and best by also confuse consumers. Such food labels are applied by the manufacturer's discretion for a variety of reasons. For example, Best By describes quality, where the product may not taste or perform as expected, but it is safe to consume. Consumers who barely know such information would tend to throw away food, relying on the confusing food labels. For this reason, 90% of Americans occasionally throw out fresh food that accounts for 20% of consumer waste of edible food. Also, 1/5 of fruits and vegetables are discarded before they're displayed, even if they're perfectly edible, merely because they don't fit the beauty standard. As you can see, it is very easy to detect loopholes in the food system. A silver lining, though, is that more and more people and organizations are now trying to react to the food waste issue. Tesco, one of the largest grocers in the world, remarked that they have reduced 45% of food waste for 5 years. And they said 83% of food was redistributed in the UK. Also, companies such as Too Good To Go is connecting consumers to the foods at discounted price that would be discarded otherwise. Other companies are utilizing the latest technology to reduce food waste. A company called Wasteless allows supermarkets to monitor shelf life, buying trends and habits so that they can maximize profits and reduce food waste. So it's a win-win. Apil's invisible edible coating can extend the shelf life of fruits and vegetables by 5 times. Also, Blue Apple's small apple-shaped product absorbs ethylene gas that enables consumers to extend the storage life by up to 3 times. Despite all these efforts, the most effective way is to reduce food waste in the first place. More than half of food waste comes from households. And through lifestyle changes from cooking to composting, each household can save an average of $1,766 per year. So what can we as individuals do? There's actually a lot of ways to make a positive change, not only for food waste, but also for saving money. Checking your fridge regularly will inform you what food you have and what are missing. This will stop from buying food that we already have and utilize the existing food. Knowing how to store food properly can also make a positive change. A lot of people think putting food in the fridge is an answer to all. However, many foods have different ideal storage methods. For example, bread and potatoes should be ideally stored in a dark, dry place sealed in an airbag like Ziploc. Tropical food like tomatoes, melons, and bananas should be kept at room temperature. Learning about how to store food is a smart way to best utilize the food and reduce food waste. Also, when we purchase groceries and meals, making a shopping list is another smart way. Overproduction is attributed to overconsumption. Making sure buying enough food that you need can prevent from overbuying that can save money and reduce food waste at home. But reducing food waste is difficult because it is not only extremely demanding, but also requires us to be less convenient. Learning how to store food and making a shopping list can be a cost-saving way, but it needs extra work to learn them. Environmental reason may not be appealing enough for a lot of people to make such a behavior change. Walmart implemented experimental programs such as Spuglies and Unperfect Apples, selling ugly produce to customers at discounted prices. It was supposed to be a big win for fighting food waste because Walmart is America's largest grocer. However, they discontinued their programs because the consumers didn't buy them as they expected. To reduce food waste, it is not just government or corporations' job. We can also reduce it significantly by buying less and generating less food waste. However, we should be conscious about the issue and willing to make a change beforehand. At first glance, it seems overwhelming to fight food waste alone. But if we work on it together as a whole, by applying various methods and efforts, it is not a difficult goal to achieve.